I believe in these checks and balances. I think American democracy is strong. I think the press is uncowed. I mean, it's actually at the other extreme. The press is rabidly hostile to Trump, and I think you could argue that's a good thing. I think it's slightly counterproductive, as I mentioned at the beginning, because I think it inflames his supporters. But the fact is the checks and balances of the system are there and they're working. They're already working. The civil service is resisting, judges are ruling against him, and Trump, what can Trump do? He is bound by the law. Now, if a point comes where he says, I'm not interested in what that court says, I'm not interested in the fact that the Supreme Court has said, I can't do this, I'm going to do it anyway, then you're talking about high crimes and misdemeanors, and we don't need to wait for the next election. But if it falls short of that, then I say, yes, give him a chance until the next election. And with any luck, if Trump's opponents play their cards right, Trump won't win the next election.
Michael Waldman, your response.
I would say that we need to take issues as they come and resist in real time. The civil servants who we just heard were gloriously able to resist and gloriously able to protest. As you probably know, there's something called the dissent channel in the State Department. And the unconstitutional Muslim ban executive order has been protested through this channel.
Not a Muslim ban.
We'll get to that. The president, by the way, said, oh, yeah, you can call it that in the last 24 hours, so we need to update the talking points, please. The dissent channel is required to have no retribution. Sean Spicer, the press secretary, said they can get with the program or get out. These are real challenges, not only to the laws, not only to the Constitution, but to the norms of how our democracy and how our system have to work. And, you know, again, the question of give a chance is really a question for those of us who are troubled. How do we respond? I think that people respond rightly when they take very seriously what's happening, whether it's on healthcare or on these legal issues or on other things, and are as energized as they are right now.
Another question? Unless there was a strong desire to rebut.
That?
I mean, there are a lot of questions.
I understand. I hesitate to instruct a constitutional lawyer on the law. But it wasn't a Muslim ban. If it was a Muslim ban, that would be straightforwardly unconstitutional, and it would be struck down. It isn't a Muslim ban because it doesn't apply to all Muslims. And calling it a Muslim ban, even though you know it isn't, is playing into Trump's hands. That's why he said, by all means, call it a Muslim ban. He loves it that you call it a Muslim ban.
And I'm not talking about its popularity. I'm talking about its constitutionality. We all saw him call for it during the campaign. He went on television on the Christian Broadcasting Network and the other day and said, don't worry, this doesn't apply to Christians. It does not ban all Muslims. It does not ban all Muslims. But it only bans Muslims from these countries. And by the way, I am sure that if it gets up to those, if it gets up to the Supreme Court of the United States, if it gets up to the Supreme Court of the United States, which it has not, it will be found unconstitutional.
Well, then that will be a good outcome, won't it?
And that's not the case. A key leader in the United Arab Emirates said it is not a Muslim ban. It is not a ban. It is a pause. And what you just said about this is why conservatives get so frustrated, because you sat there and you said that Trump said, yes, sorry, David. Trump said that it didn't apply to Christians, and that's not true. And people are saying that in the refugee program that Christians will be prioritized. That's not true. It could actually even apply to some Muslim groups in countries like Burma, where there are Muslim sects, where they are being oppressed in those countries, that would give them preferential treatment too. So it's so frustrating when you are arguing about something and you're allowed to just kind of get away with these kind of fake news headlines that are not accurate.